I would like to introduce our faculty speaker, Dr. Deborah Bowman. Dr. Bowman is currently a full professor teaching in our transpersonal counseling psychology program. She founded this program in 1991 and later developed our wilderness therapy program in 2002. Before she came to Naropa, she was president of Boulder Graduate School and worked for Boulder County Hospice. In addition to her faculty work, Dr. Bowman has been in practice as a psychotherapist and psychologist for 27 years and speaks and teaches internationally. She is the author of several books and publications. Her most recent book is titled The Female Buddha, Discovering the Heart of Liberation and Love. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Deborah Bowman.
Hi. I want to share a poem with you by the 18th century spiritual master and Chinese nun, Zizhong. She composed these lines when on retreat to explore the natural world, away from her busy schedule of being abbess of several monasteries, teaching, writing, fundraising, all the things necessary to maintain a mandala of study and practice and service. She says, I still recall how, with my bag on my pole, I forgot my yesterdays, wandered the hills, played in the waters, went to the land of the clouds, the rise of an eyebrow, the blink of an eye, all of it samadhi. In this great world, there is nowhere that is not a wisdom hall. In this great world, there is nowhere that is not a wisdom hall. In this moment, our wisdom hall is this beautiful, spacious auditorium, an appropriate metaphor for the openness we are celebrating today. The unlimited space in the hearts and minds of our graduates and each one of us. The awareness that allows us to act with wisdom and love and without prejudice. A hallmark of education at Naropa University is that we learn through direct experience. We learn to compose by writing. We learn to dance by moving our bodies in space. We learn to know our own mind by sitting and listening and practicing patience. A lot of patience. We learn compassion by sitting across from one another and noticing what brings us together or farther apart. We learn by sharing our stories of heartbreak and discovery, of being comatose and waking up. In 1979, I came close to dying in a climbing accident in the Wind River Range of Wyoming. I fell down an icy slope over 200 feet, lost my eye, and blew out my ankle. The person I was climbing with had ascended the wall and yelled down, "Bring up the rope." I responded to the authority of his voice instead of listening inside to what was wise in the moment. I had never led an ice climb. A small group of us had hiked in the day before, 23 miles with heavy backpacks. I was recovering from the flu. No was not a word in my vocabulary. My climbing partner was perfectly capable of down climbing, and he eventually did. The problem was that my center was out there, not in the moment, not taking in the total environment, his capacities or mine. My other-centeredness was really no better than self-centeredness. It was a strategy I had picked up to get my self-centered needs met. Many of us have learned this other-centered strategy. We commonly confuse it with being a good person. We haven't learned how to give from a spacious heart and mind that is attuned to what is, not to what we think or believe is right. As I was falling down that ice slope, I remembered an instructor's advice to stay upright in an avalanche. It fit the situation well enough. As I focused on keeping my head above my feet, my perception of time slowed, and I was able to adjust my movements, avoid tumbling and breaking my neck. As the incline of the ice wall began to lessen, I began to slow down, and the spikes of one of my crampons caught the ice. I came to a screeching halt. Not knowing how it happened, I had spun around and was now facing outward. I felt utterly at peace and was stunned by the beauty of the mountains across the valley floor. I noticed I was only seeing out of one eye, but I made up my mind not to worry about it until I was off the mountain. For 10 years afterwards, I dreamt of down climbing, down cliffs, down buildings, anything. I was coming down to earth, into my body and reality. I was learning to live more mindfully and upright, not willing to break my neck to please others. The continual lesson for me, and I imagine everyone in this wisdom hall, is to be centered, not self-centered not other-centered, but exquisitely centered in awareness and working to stay upright in this free fall we call life. Every moment, you and I are invited to notice this great world. In the rise of a brow, the blink of an eye, are the stunning mountains before us. It is nothing other than awareness. And it is so beautiful. It is so beautiful. To our graduates and everyone who is so generously joined with us today, may you always recall, in this great world, there is nowhere that is not a wisdom hall. In this great world, there is nowhere that is not a wisdom hall. Thank you.